Good morning, Tuesday morning. Not going to embarrass myself with trying to figure out what date it is. I'm just grateful that I know that it's Tuesday. So good morning everybody, and here we go. Up at Boddington. Waterfall sounds amazing. Very quiet up here this morning. It's clammy, it's quite warm. Morning Narelle, how are you? I will message you today. I hope you're well. So this morning I'm speaking about habits. Morning Vicky, hope you're well. Hope everybody's good. It's beautiful up here. I'm a big favourite tree. The world looks well this morning. Look at that. Rab McMinn, good morning. Right, cool. Good morning. Tuesday morning. Got no idea what date it is. Do I need to know what date it is? Right, so habits. And I guess habits, and then accepting that we've got bad habits, or we've got negative habits, or we've got habits that need to change, and that's only going to come around with a degree of acceptance. And I was on a Zoom meeting last night, and we were talking about habits quite a bit actually, about the reopening of organisations. Where am I, Vicky? This is where I live. I live in a little town, Vicky, called Lanark. Lanark is equal distance between Glasgow and Edinburgh if you look at it on a map. And this is about, well, it's exactly 45-minute walk from my house this morning. And it's called New Lanark. And if you Google it, that's what's called the Falls of Clyde. And that's where I am now. Right, so back to my wee vlog. It's funny, in a kind of perverse sort of way, I've now got this. I'm going to keep vlogging because I've got this perverted kind of thing inside my mind that I want to have more vlogs than I've got subscribers on my YouTube channel. I think I've got about 80 vlogs completed through lockdown so far, right? I've got about 80 vlogs and I've got 90 subscribers. So there's a kind of sick part of me thinking, wouldn't it be quite funny to have more vlogs than I've got subscribers? One for each and some for dessert. So, habits. I was on a Zoom call last night. And about organisations and structures and phase 2 of lockdown and things that are starting to open back up. And the person that was leading the Zoom call, morning Willie, morning. The person that was leading the Zoom call, and I must admit I was daydreaming. I was looking at my phone underneath the desk, and he blurted out, "Ross, how long does it take to install a habit?" No, that's not the question he asked me. He went, "Ross, how long is it to ditch a habit?" And I said, well, that's an interesting question. Trying to buy myself some time because I was daydreaming. But I said, science would say somewhere between 21 and 40 days in order to install a new program, a new habit, a new set of software, right? Personally speaking, from my understanding, personally, and those that I work with, I think it's closer to 90 days to really get the impact, right? But that's not the question he asked me. He asked me, how long does it take to lose a habit? Now, what kind of habit does that mean? Does that mean the habit that you have of what supermarket you shop in? The habit of what way you drive to work? The habit of heroin? The habit of alcohol? The habit of cocaine? The habit of pornography? The habit of gambling? Right? So that's all very different. But the question, and I've went over habits and behaviours through these vlogs, but I thought I would do a wee quickie on habits, right? So, the brain is the most powerful weapon you've got. The brain is the most powerful weapon that you have. And you're not going to start a new habit from your comfort zone. Any new behaviour that you set up, whatever that might be, is going to be painful. It's going to be sore, right? Fact. Let's not gloss over the surface. Let's not make it flowery. Let's just tell you as it is. But what you've got to do is we've got to first accept it. Step 1 of the 12-step process. Love it, absolutely fantastic. And any idiot that tells you that you only need to have one step of the 12-step process, just delete them off Facebook. They don't know what they're talking about. right? New age guys, right? Step 1 of the 12-step process, I accept I am powerless over alcohol or drugs. Fundamentally, I am powerless over suffering. I am powerless over myself. I am powerless over my habits. I am powerless over the destructive realm that I have found myself in. So, what is it that you've got, right? Write a list. Write a list of what it is that's not working for you, right? So, is it alcohol? Is it your relationship? Is it your job, right? And then from that, do some wee speech bubbles off of it. And so the work, don't like it. What is it? How does it make you feel? But what does that give you an excuse to do, right? Now, for me, with doing this loads of times, right? I'm not going to inflate my ego by telling you thousands, but, you know, I've done this exercise a lot with a lot of people. And the answer seems to always go back to, I'll give you the answer, right? It seems to go back to what the secondary gain is that you get out of it, is it means that you don't need to show up. So if you've got a relationship that's not working with your wife or your husband, are you actually showing up in the relationship? Or is this new personality that's been forged out of probably a previous trauma where you've disconnected from yourself, is that what's showing up? Are you finding yourself a wee bit more moany or a bit more complainy in the relationship? Now, this is the person you've had kids with. This is the person that you look in their eyes and you love. This is the person that you went into the relationship with. At first, it was all awe and wonder, right? It was absolutely fantastic. You were in this relationship with this person and you were in the honeymoon phase and everything was groovy. What happened? What changed? Well, maybe you started to lose yourself in that relationship. Maybe you started to lose a sense of control or a sense of power. You felt as if you gave yourself away, right? So then what you do is you dissociate from the honeymoon period and you become moany, complaining, a bit of a perpetrator. Same thing with a job. You know, you're in that interview, you don't go, you know, probably in about 2 weeks from now, I'm not really going to enjoy this, but right now I'm going to tell you that this is the absolute, that, you know, I really love your organisation. Didn't know anything about your organisation before I saw the job, but what I did was I went and spent 45 minutes every night for the last 10 days reading about your organisation and what your key values and core values of your organisation are. And I have actually hardwired them in so that I could give you a whole pile of BS when I am sitting here at the interview to make you think that I want to rock your company, right? But, and the crazy thing about that is, see the people that's interviewing you, they probably know that you've done that, but because you've done that, it gives you an opening into their company, right? So then you're 2 weeks in, we've all seen the people, they come in, they're all great, and then after 2 weeks, the armour starts to chink in it, and the real person starts to show up. They're actually a gossip, they're actually two-faced, they're actually, right? Can he keep that personality running? Right, so habits, forming new habits. Now, the brain is the most powerful weapon that you've got. And learning how to channel that brain and how to dig into that brain and how to be with suffering and burn through suffering is the best ally that you're ever going to find. Right? Better than any friend, better than your mommy or better than your daddy. You just got to get into your brain. You've got to dig deep into it and you've got to learn how to be with suffering. Now, as I said to you, Saturday, I'm going to give you some examples, right? Saturday I walked into Glasgow, right? Give me a cheer. Woo, yeah. Great on my ego. Not at all. I walked into Glasgow. It's 33 miles, right? Now, what was my learnings from that? One of the learnings that I got from that was when I got to mile 30, I was at a place called Dalmarnock. My little brain knew that there was a train from Dalmarnock to Glasgow and I started giving up, right? But when I break my body down, when I do things that actually break me, this is the lesson. When I talk about I see me from the inside out and I see you from the outside in. When I started to break down physically, mentally, emotionally broken at mile 30 and couldn't go on, I couldn't lift my feet, my feet felt bound within my boots, they were that much pain, they were throbbing. And normally, if you're at a funeral or a wedding or you're watching a sad film, even you guys, you can admit to it, and you feel some tears, it's almost like they come over you. It's like, it's like the tears come from the outside and they start off low, and if your pals are about or, you know, you don't want anybody to see it, you can kind of control it because it feels as if they're coming in the way. Whereas when you're broken. You've got nothing left. It's a different kind of emotion. It's like the emotion starts to come from the inside out. The tears are coming from deep within you, and they're coming up, and you don't even know what you're greeting about, right? So you have a choice. You have a choice to sit on the couch. You're £300, your ideal weight's £185. How do you want to tackle that, right? Have you got yourself into some bad habits, some bad thinking habits? Do you go to your bed every night saying, I'm not going to go to bed eating that slab of carrot cake or Madeira cake or banana loaf again. That's it, I'm done with that. I'm not going to go to my bed after drinking a bottle of red wine again. That's it, I'm not going to do it. Do you find yourself doing that over and over again? Do you find yourself just continually, that's it, next time I go to the dance, I'm not going to drop a couple of pills, that's it, I'm off of drugs, I'm off it, I'm not snorting that gear any longer. Right? Do you find yourself continually telling yourself the same stories over and over again, but you're unable to get off the hamster wheel, right? I'll get into telling you why that is. The reason that you can't get off the hamster wheel is because you have become associated to the biochemical factory that's within inside you. You have made a chemical component to that. Now, if you sit on a belief system that you can become addicted to drugs and alcohol, personally I don't, but if you can adhere to that belief system, then what we have become is we've become habitualised into a pattern of behaviour, which means that we are constantly champing the tenner bag dealer's door within our own mind, because the biggest drug dealer you'll ever meet lives inside you, right? Makes Pablo Escobar and Paul Ferris look like £10 dealers, right? You have got a system so complex within yourself that it's dishing out prescriptive medication on a second-to-second basis in order to keep you stuck within the paradigm that you are in. Right, so pain, the walk, right? So yesterday, really difficult to get walking. As I said, my Achilles just slightly up for that, 33 mile, boots are tight, etc. I woke up this morning and I'm hobbling down the banisters to get down the stairs, right? So, woe me, victim Ross, right? Anyway, I gets myself out this morning. Now, going at a normal pace to leave my house to get to the waterfall is an hour, right? So I'm like, I've left the house at 6 o'clock this morning. I've got this pain in my ankles. My ankles are in absolute agony, right? Remember, the brain is the best weapon that you've got, okay? So rather than you've heard me speak about this in my vlogs, but I'll repeat it. We have to learn how to train our internal mind sight, M-I-N-D-S-I-G-H-T, our internal mind sight, to stop focusing on the mosquito bite. When you focus on the mosquito bite, you will scratch it. Right, so I'm focusing like an idiot this morning on the pain in my ankles, finding it a real struggle. I'm hobbling, I'm walking hen-toed, right. And then I went, right, gave myself a right talking to. I spoke to myself like, you know, Cobra Kai. There is no pain in this dojo. There is no pain in this dojo. And I went into the pain and I felt the pain and I released the pain. And it's almost as if, which is pretty biblical, the only way to the Lord is through suffering. When I could be with that suffering in my ankle and actually experience it from a different perspective, it lifted me beyond me and I started charging. It's almost like you find fuel in the suffering. You find energy in your pain. But when you're just skinking around the surface of it, the pain engulfs you. You end up getting stuck in it, which I'll come back to around about your hamster wheel, and maybe you're fed up in the relationship that you're in or the job that you're in or doing what you're doing, right? And you're looking for another angle, right? So, to my surprise, I lost myself and got to the waterfall in 43 minutes. I shaved 17 minutes off my time this morning with the sorest ankles I've probably had. I'm day 2 after a 33 mile hike, right? So you get strength, you find strength, but the first thing that we have to do when we're changing a habit is accept that the habit that we've got is debilitating, and we have to fall to our hands and knees with it and find the strength to let go of those habits because they're no longer serving us, right? Now, when we're in those habits of behaviour, there is a chemical component to them. So for an example, as I've said to you, if you like dogs and you think about a puppy dog, it makes you feel good, right? If you're a heterosexual male and you imagine a naked woman, you become aroused, right? So through the time on our planet, I've been on this planet 47 years, I don't know how long you've been on this planet, but the amount of time that you've been on this planet, you have become conditioned to a matrix of experiences which have then become unconscious, right? A lot of your habits, my habits, have become unconscious habits, right? We don't know we're doing them. So for an example, in our unconscious mind, which is basically like our second home 300 miles away from our conscious mind, we've got art in there that's very dark, that's very satanic, that's very broken. There's lots of judgment in there, right? And that's what's running the show. That's what's running your movie. And if you want to change your movie, it starts by acceptance. Accepting where you're at. Finding small things. Great term. Best way to eat an elephant. Don't look at the whole elephant because you'll be in its shadow and it'll be quite daunting. Best way to eat an elephant's in small chunks. Start taking tiny little small chunks that you can work with and that you can manage. And if you can't manage them on your own, find somebody that's already ate that bit of the elephant and ask them how they tackled it. Speak to them about it. Now, somebody might give you that information for free. You might need to pay for that information, but help is available when you're wanting to change your programs and patterns of behaviour, because fundamentally all it is a habit. We've got lots of positive habits and lots of negative habits. Now, going quite hard this morning. Take a breath. Right, so you look at something through the eyes of the past, not from the present, because you're conditioned by your past. We have encoded hundreds of trillions of pieces of binary information into our brain to make us come to where we are. We wake up in the morning and rather than putting 1 foot forward, we've got 1 foot in the past. So we're never really present. We're always working from the now, from a construct of the past. Those thoughts are debilitating and they've got us to where they are. If they didn't work for us yesterday, they're not going to work for us today, right? So, how do you start to create new programs of behaviour? Now, this is also tied in with resilience. I did a talk on resilience if you go back and you look at it. So, when you go to your bed every night, sounds a little bit goal setting, and I'm not huge on goals, but it sounds a little bit like, programming your mind, right? Zig Ziglar. But before you go to your bed, it's the most important time because we get to reach that liminal space. Liminal, L-I-M-A-L, liminal, like standing on a beach and looking at the ocean. It's that place that we get to visit that's between the solid ground and the ocean. We get to feel this liminal space between this conscious world and we're just about ready to drop off into the unconscious world. That is the most crucial time for us to do our programming, right? And how you program for your day ahead is crucial. So think, as you're in your bed at night, think of something great that happened during that day. Somebody that made eye contact with you, somebody that sent you a wee text out of the blue. You might have got a bit of good news, a letter, something within your day you can be grateful for. So just as you're lying in your bed at night, feel that gratitude, remember that experience, bring it back to your conscious memory, everybody that was involved, and get that feeling into your body, right? Sorry, there's a step before that. So feel, if you're going to your bed and you're at that stage where it's like, I've just ate a slab of carrot cake or I've drank another bottle of red wine or whatever, here we go again, right? You're stuck in that habit of behaviour. So feel that pain, feel that suffering around about the mess ups that you've made throughout that day, right? Feel that and be with it. Be with the pain. Don't avoid it, because avoidance only continues the repetition. Be with it as much as you can and become an observer. Watch the pain, watch the suffering, watch the disabling thoughts, right? And then be as if you're walking on water. You're just standing on water between them, right? And just let that feeling change. It'll move now. It might go from regret or disgust or self-disgust or feeling weak or not liking yourself, whatever that might be. And then just watch how that changes into something else. It'll move into something different, right? It'll go into another experience and another experience and another experience. And then eventually when that gets to a more positive, a better conclusion for you, just go like that, swipe left, swipe right, swipe the program to the side. And then bring that thing that you feel grateful for, bring that person, those people, those places, those things that gave you a sense of belonging, a sense of gratitude, a sense of love, a sense of whatever, and feel that feeling. Bring that feeling up into your body. So feel that gratitude. And when you can feel it, find the pinpoint in your body where it's radiating from, right? So find the pinpoint in your body where it's radiating from. It may be your heart, your stomach, whatever, your genitals, whatever, right? And just experience that that's where it's pulsing from. It's pulsing out from that place. And let that feeling fill your body. Let it fill you up so that then you're like the ready break. You've got a little glow around you, a little positive glow as you're going to bed. And just keep turning that feeling up. Just keep expanding that feeling. Now, what you're then beginning to do is you're then beginning to master your own brain, because your brain is the best weapon that you could possibly have. And that weapon can be used for destruction or it can be used for love. It depends where you focus on. And learning to redirect your mind sight of attention from the mosquito bite to something else will give you mastery over your own mind and start to be able to control and experience in your own emotions. Now, we could then get really, really metaphysical around that, and maybe you have been a bit of a negative Nelly or a bit of a Victor Meldrew, or you've been caught in some kind of destruction and people around about you bring you down. Now, maybe that's because unconsciously they have got a sense that when you tap into the mastery of your own mind, you will energetically, like an alchemist, be able to blow them out the water. So it is their unconscious desire and need to keep you small. Are you in a relationship with somebody that's keeping you small, that's making you subservient? Now, you could then get into that it's not necessarily just them that's doing that, that's a two-way deal, and that you need them to do that because it's not only them that's scared of your intense power when you can become the alchemist of your own mind and start to train your mind to mastery. As I keep saying, Cobra Kai, there is no pain in this dojo. There is no pain, right? Do not give your focus to the pain and to the suffering, because if you do, what you focus on will grow and it will soon engulf you in a blaze of fire, and you will be in hell. You will be walking through your own hell experience. So it's up to you where you want to put your focus and how you want to drive your intention. It is my understanding that the place to begin with that is with looking at your habits of behaviour. Are you overeating? Are you over drinking? Are you over snorting? Are you over smoking? Are you overindulging in anything other than a more positive outcome so that you can live the best version of this tiny little fracture in time that we have, which is called life? It passes by so fast. So what channel you choose to watch will have a very indicative response on how your day, weeks, months and years will unfold for you. So a wee tiny bit on habits. I wish you a very good Tuesday. Get out and get after it. Hope you have a successful day. And I really am sure that if you open your mind sight, by the time you get to tonight, there will be something or someone that when you're lying in your bed, you can feel grateful for. And you can feel what that gives you. And you have the choice to program that into your unconscious mind and start to program it and start to watch how you feel when you wake up in the morning. Right? How you feel when you wake up in the morning then starts your day with 1 foot in it rather than 1 foot behind you. Have a fantastic day. Have a great day. Hope it's filled with joy. And yeah, thank you. All the best.